Hi, it's Dot, and it's been a really long day, and it's days like these I sort of miss having a phone in one hand, a credit card in the other, and 30 minutes later pizza would magically arrive at my door. Well, I don't do that anymore. My credit card and phone are safely secure in my purse, and instead all I have is this pan, all these lovely ingredients, and within about 35 minutes, a little slower than Domino's, but this will be much better. I'm going to have a delicious pizza casserole that is tasty, wonderful, and low carb. Now, normal pizza uses bread. I don't use bread because it ain't low carb or healthy, so I'm going to use a sausage instead. My toppings are going to be mushrooms, tomatoes, pepperoni, and of course mozzarella. And I've got my pizza sauce right here, and I'm going to flavor up my pizza sauce with some fresh basil. So with that, let's get to the stove and let's get this puppy going. All right, I have my sausage in my pan and I'm cooking it up. Pretty much when I cook my casseroles, I don't like putting raw meat in a casserole. You want to make sure your meat is cooked before it goes in. So basically, I'm just going to make sure that it cooks all the way through. I'm going to also work on the sausage and make sure it's in small pieces. I don't want any big chunks, essentially. I want it small and crumbly. All right, so I'm going to get my basil ready. That's going to go in the sauce. So the sauce is going to be simmering while my sausage is cooking. So all you do, you stack your basil leaves, and then you want to just fold them up. Basically, what you're going to do is just go ahead and chop. I'm trying to hold my basil like a real chef would. I really have to take that knife class. But anyway, you're just chopping as you're going along. And, you know, I'm just basically cutting ribbons for all intents and purposes. So thin ribbons just like that. And that's what's going to go into the sauce. Okay, I put in a splash of olive oil in the pan. And I'm keeping the heat on low. And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and add my pizza sauce. Now, you can make your own pizza sauce. I already have a video on my own tomato sauce. And if you just reduce that down, you can easily make your own pizza sauce. However, I don't have any of my tomato sauce available simply because, well, tomatoes aren't really in season. So I'm using a tomato sauce I got at the store called Rao's, R-A-O''S, and it's probably the best low-carb pizza sauce I've come across, and it really is low-carb. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and add in my tomatoes, because I want a chunky sauce, and I'm also going to add in the basil and just stir that. And I'm just going to simmer this. I am going to raise the temperature of it, but this is going to be my sauce for my casserole. So what I'm doing right now, the sausage is done, and I'm just draining all the excess grease that's accumulated, and then I'm going to go ahead and layer this in my casserole dish right after this. All right, I poured my sausage in from the paper towels into my casserole dish. I did lightly grease the casserole dish too. And all I'm doing now is just making sure it is pretty flat and also evenly distributed in the pan. All right, I heated up about a tablespoon of olive oil in my pan. I cleaned it out, obviously, from all of the sausage. So I added the olive oil, and I'm going to go ahead and saute now the mushrooms. All vegetables, for the most part, except the most softest ones, like maybe a tomato, I guess you can say, needs to be cooked before they go into a casserole. Otherwise, they're just not going to get soft enough for what people like. So still want them a little bit of a firm texture, but they're clearly going to be much softer than what they are right now. All right, as you can see, if you look at the pan, there's a lot of liquid coming off the mushrooms, and that's good. That's what I want. I'm going to add just a little bit of sea salt to this. I'm going to salt them, and that'll help take off a little bit more of the liquid from them, as well as season them nicely for the casserole. All right, I just started layering my mushrooms. I pulled them off the stove. They're a little bit hot, and so I am using my little spatula to go ahead and just sort of move them around. I don't want too many clumped together, and basically I'm filling in all of the little gaps and the holes. And it's almost like adding not quite a full layer, but they're going to be layered enough so this serves 4 people, so everyone who gets a bite is going to have plenty of mushrooms. All right, my sauce is nice and hot, and it smells delicious. I didn't add any seasoning other than the basil, so that's why I love Rao's pizza sauce, but you can certainly add any Italian seasonings or whatever you would like to add to it. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and just ladle this on, and then I'm going to use my ladle basically to spread it. Just spread it about. I told you this was easy. Now it's time to add your mozzarella cheese. So you're just going to spread it around. You want to make sure every little area gets covered in cheese. Now I use just a cup of cheese, of mozzarella cheese. You can use more if you'd like, just adjust the recipe. Usually mozzarella per serving is about close to a carb, if not a solid carb, but just adjust it to what your goals are. All right, I have my pepperoni stacked nice and neat right here. I'm actually going to cut mine in half. You don't have to, but I'm going to. This is an 8x8 casserole dish, and it just sort of, using big ones just sort of seems to be a little bit, oh, I don't know, it just seems like they'd be stacked all over the place. So again, I'm just sort of stacking them however you want to layer them on. I just sort of tend to go in rows, and it still is pepperoni, and it's going to be tasty. All right, these did get a little stacked because my husband was encouraging me to add more, add more. So again, pepperoni, awesome because it's nice, healthy fats. What I'm going to do now, it's going to go in the oven for about 20-25 minutes. The temperatures are all listed below for everything, as well as the recipe itself. And pretty soon we'll be able to have a little bit of pizza in our lives once again. All right, it is out of the oven. I let it cool just a tad. But it smells delicious. It looks like a pizza. Granted, it is in a casserole dish. This serves 4 people, so you want to make sure you have a sharp knife because you have to cut through, and this isn't cutting through the pepperoni like I'd like, but you know, that happens. So of course, pizza is not complete without adding a little bit of Parmesan. So I'm going to add some fresh Parmesan because I also happen to have the world's largest block of cheese here with me. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some Parmesan. And then of course, I'm going to add red pepper flakes. Now, you don't have to use sausage if you don't like pork. You can use ground beef if you prefer. You also can change out the toppings too. This is a pizza casserole, so you can use whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bite. Okay, this is amazing, but what I remember is when I first started going low carb, and we would go and order a pizza, and I would scrape off the toppings and just eat the toppings and not the bread. This is so much better than that, but this is pretty much what it reminds me of. It tastes wonderful. You can taste all the ingredients. The sauce is delicious. The cheese is just wonderful. This just makes me happy. So with that, I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you give this a try. Again, add the toppings you love and make your own little pizza casserole that you can have. If you enjoy the video, hit like, subscribe, share with your friends. Click the little bell below the video if you like to, and then you'll get notifications when I actually post videos. And with that, I'll see you next time.